Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video, we are tackling a very iconic anime among the fans of spinning tops and intense battles, Beyblade. Beyblade, known in Japan as Explosive Shoot Beyblade, was the first anime adaptation in the wider Beyblade franchise. The name Beyblade is derived from the traditional Japanese spinning top called Beigoma, combined with the word for blade. We'll get into the history of the show a little later, but before we go any further, make sure to subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you never miss any updates. Now, without further ado, let's get it. Beyblade first aired on TV Tokyo on January 8, 2001 and ran until December 24, 2001. During its run, the show garnered a dedicated fan base, especially among younger audiences, though it also faced mixed reactions from older anime fans and critics. Unlike many original anime that come from lengthy manga or novels, Beyblade was heavily inspired by the real-life spinning top toy line by Takara and was further developed from Taiko Aoki's manga. It was produced by Madhouse under the direction of Toshifumi Kawase. Although Beyblade quickly found success in merchandising and toy sales, some critics were less enthusiastic about its storytelling and heavy product tie-ins. Still, the show's popularity led to numerous sequels, such as Beyblade B-Force and Beyblade G-Revolution, as well as the more recent Beyblade Burst iterations. Because of these new series and reboots, fans often debate which parts of the Beyblade timeline are the most essential or iconic. However, many still have a nostalgic fondness for the original series that started it all. Beyblade's initial run consisted of 51 episodes that covered the adventures of Tyson and his friends. So, let's get into the story. Tyson Granger is a bold and energetic boy who oversleeps one day and nearly misses a Beyblade match with his friend Andrew. By the time he arrives, a bully named Carlos from a group called the Blade Sharks has beaten Andrew and taken his Beyblade. Upset by this, Tyson challenges Carlos to a rematch the next day. Tyson wants a way to defeat Carlos' strong, heavy Beyblade, so he teams up with his smart friend Kenny, aka the Chief, for help. While brainstorming, Tyson has a vision of an ancient spirit called Dragoon. He uses Dragoon's energy to upgrade his own blade and defeats Carlos. But before Carlos can run off with his stolen prizes, Kai, the leader of the Blade Sharks, shows up. Kai punishes Carlos for failing and shows no sympathy, which angers Tyson, and Tyson challenges Kai directly. Not long after, Kai easily smashes Tyson's Beyblade using his powerful bit beast, Dronzer. It becomes clear that Tyson's natural skill can't match Kai's experience yet. Meanwhile, Kenny explains that the Blade Sharks are searching for an unbeatable bit beast. Tyson and his friends rebuild his blade, and Kai wrecks Carlos' Beyblade to prove his authority. Carlos' gang even kidnaps Kenny in an attempt to get data on the ultimate bit beast. When Dragoon's spirit enters Tyson's rebuilt blade, Tyson is finally strong enough to force a draw with Kai. This clash marks the beginning of their heated rivalry and the start of a strange friendship. Soon, Tyson meets Max Tate, a cheerful new kid who rescues a puppy stuck by a waterfall. Tyson challenges him to a Beyblade battle, but loses because Max's defensive style. Their new friendship is tested when they hear about a local Beyblade tournament run by Stanley A. Dickinson, the chairman of the Beyblade Battle Association, aka the BBA. Tyson, Max, Kenny, and Kai all enter, with Kai as the reigning city champion. During the opening rounds, Max wins by outsmarting his opponents, while Kai defeats Kenny with a relentless style that angers Tyson. Tyson earns his spot in the semifinals by beating Carlos and his gang once more. Right at the end, a blader named Ray Khan appears, catching everyone's attention. In the semifinals, Max faces Kai. Although Max tries a reverse launch that lets him absorb some of Kai's attacks, the extra power makes his Beyblade explode. He puts a new bit beast, Drasil, in his repaired blade, but Kai still wins. Then Tyson battles Ray, whose bit beast Trigger is so strong it breaks Tyson's blade in the first round. Kenny fixes Tyson's Beyblade, so Tyson forces Ray to show off his best moves. Impressed by Tyson's progress, Ray surrenders the third round, explaining that he only wanted people to see what he could do.
I got you, homie!
This sets up the final match, Tyson vs. Kai. The night before the final is Tyson's 13th birthday. Renewed by his friend's support, he battles Kai in 3 intense rounds. Tyson surprises Kai and takes the first round, but Kai crushes him in the second round. In the last battle, Tyson combines his own skills with Dragoon's power to beat Kai. making Tyson the new city champion. Mr. Dickinson then asked Tyson, Kai, Max, Ray, and Kenny to form a team, soon to be called the Blade Breakers, and represent their country in the World Championships. Their first stop is Hong Kong, where they plan to train for the Asian tournament. Tensions soon rise when Kai, who hates group bonding, briefly quits.
Come on now, dawg. Come on, man.
While looking for him, Tyson's group meets Kevin, a sneaky boy with unorthodox Beyblade skills. Kevin is part of the White Tiger clan, which Ray once belonged to. The clan members Lee, Gary, Mariah, and Kevin feel betrayed by Ray's departure and challenge him. Kevin even tries to steal Drigger, causing it to slip away for a short time. Tyson battles Kevin, reclaims his important data, and helps Ray realize that the Blade Breakers care about him. The White Tiger clan is extremely strong in the tournament, leading to a critical showdown against the Blade Breakers. After Tyson ties with Lee, Ray faces Lee in a sudden death match. Ray's win heals old wounds, and the Blade Breakers become the Asian champions. Returning home, Tyson becomes a mini celebrity, although Kenny warns him not to get too full of himself. Tyson proves he hasn't changed by helping a young boy who's being bullied. Next, the Blade Breakers travel to the United States for the American tournament. Max discovers that his mother, Judy Tate, actually runs a high-tech Beyblade research lab, nothing like the small college lab he always imagined. One of her assistants, Emily, easily defeats Max in a casual practice match using only a tennis racket to launch, showing how advanced American training is.
Boring.
Mr. Dickinson then sends the Blade Breakers to train in the mountains. Tyson, Kai, Ray, and Max endure tough drills to prepare for their match against the American team, the All-Stars, Michael, Eddie, Steve, and Emily. During the finals, Max faces Michael in a stadium shaped like a baseball field, Michael's favorite sport. Even though the All-Stars rely on technology and loads of data, the Blade Breakers come out on top by trusting their skills and bit beasts. Max's victory over Michael proves that spirit and teamwork can beat scientific tools. On their way to Europe, the Blade Breakers meet Robert, sometimes called Ralph, who uses the powerful bit beast Grifolian. He defeats Tyson's Beyblade almost instantly, showing that the Blade Breakers are still vulnerable. Around the same time, a mysterious group called the Dark Bladers, whose members are styled like a vampire, a werewolf, a zombie, and a mummy, start attacking the Blade Breakers. They want to capture their bit beast to grow even stronger. Thanks to cooperation and clever thinking, Tyson's team repeatedly fends them off, but the danger is increasing. In Paris, the Blade Breakers meet Oliver, a champion chef who teaches Tyson about balance in Beyblade.
Good job!
In Rome, they meet Enrique, a skilled and somewhat flirty Italian champion with a two-headed bit beast called Amphileon. At first, Enrique overpowers Tyson, but Tyson refines his technique to defeat Enrique in a match. Oliver and Enrique mention to two more champions, Robert, who the Blade Breakers already know, and Johnny, a proud Scottish blader. These four form the Majestics, each guarding a rare and powerful bit beast. The Blade Breakers eventually arrive at Robert's giant estate, where they wander through maze-like halls before finding Johnny and Robert playing chess. Johnny decides to test Kai's skill, beating him with his Salamuleon. Realizing they need to grow stronger, the Blade Breakers challenge the Majestics in a grand match at Robert's personal coliseum. In a close contest, Tyson's group manages to win by combining their strengths. The Majestics learn about the power of teamwork and agree to stop fighting alone, especially with the Dark Bladers still on the loose. After saying goodbye, the Blade Breakers head for Russia. Once in Moscow, they face a harsh winter and an even harsher welcome from Boris, who runs a grim training abbey under the Biovolt Corporation. Young Beybladers there suffer brutal routines meant to create unbeatable fighters. Kai feels an uneasy connection, remembering his early childhood under Boris's watch. Driven by these memories, Kai sneaks into the abbey one night and finds a disturbing lab where Biovolt is creating the ultimate Beyblade. Boris shows him Black Dronzer, an evil version of Kai's original bit beast Dronzer. Kai, tempted by this dark power, takes Black Dronzer and rejoins the Neoborg, aka the Demolition Boys. His memories of using it as a child return. Kai then defeats the entire All-Stars team at once and steals their bit beast. He does the same to the White Tiger clan, and when the Blade Breakers confront him, he coldly gives Tyson his old Dronzer bit chip and walks away, leaving his friends stunned. Meanwhile, Voltaire, Kai's grandfather, and the head of Biovolt, plans to use the stolen bit beast to take over the world. Tyson's team doesn't have the strength to match Kai yet, and Kai battles them at Lake Baikal, to which Tyson, Ray, and Kenny lose. Max, however, arrives by parachute with an upgraded Dracil designed to handle Kai's attacks. While Max holds off Kai, Tyson places Kai's original Dronzer bit chip in front of him, forcing Kai to face the harm he's caused. Overcome by regret, Kai gives up Black Dronzer and returns to the Blade Breakers, who forgive him. Soon after, the team faces the Neoborg in the World Championship Finals. The members are Ian, Spencer, Brian, and Tala. Kai insists on facing Spencer to use what he knows about Biovolt, but he still loses Dronzer in the process. Ray battles Brian in a grueling contest and barely wins, then collapses from exhaustion. With the score tied, Tyson fights Tala, who uses experimental power to lock Tyson and Dragoon in a freezing realm. Tyson almost gives in until Dragoon's spirit calls out to him, reminding him of his friends. Renewing his will, Tyson shatters Tala's ice world, and in their final round, Dragoon outduels Tala's multi-bit beast Assault. The stolen bit beasts fly back to the rightful owners, and Voltaire's plan falls apart. Tala and the other members of Neoborg admit respect for Tyson's strength. Tyson, now the world champion, shows he's still hungry for more battles, and Kai, Ray, and Max also want to challenge him again, grinning as they realize their real adventure is just beginning. Together, they learn that true Beyblade strength doesn't come from fancy technology or cruel ambition, but from teamwork, respect, and never giving up on your friends. And that's the end of Season 1 of Beyblade. Beyblade V-Force. Beyblade V-Force is the second season in the Beyblade franchise. The V-Force in the name stands for V/V2 versions of the Beyblades introduced in this season. Beyblade V-Force first aired on TV Tokyo in Japan on January 7, 2002, just 2 weeks after the original Beyblade ended. It ran until December 30th, 2002. Unlike its predecessor, which closely followed Takai Aoki's manga, Beyblade V-Force introduced some original elements and expanded character backstories beyond the manga source. While Takai Aoki continued to be credited for the overall concept, the anime's production team took more creative liberties this time around, such as reimagined Beyblade designs and new opponents for the Blade Breakers. Despite the creators' enthusiasm for the season, opinions among fans and critics have been mixed. Some believe Beyblade V-Force was overshadowed by the later season G-Revolution, and thus regard it as less impactful in the overall Beyblade canon. Others, however, praise it for its deep character development and new challenges faced by Tyson and his friends. It ultimately ran for 51 episodes. So, let's get into the story. When the Blade Breakers split up after winning the World Championship, each member goes in a different direction. Max returns to the United States with his mom, Judy. Ray goes back to China, and Kai disappears. That leaves Tyson at home in Japan, living a quiet life until a local supermarket hosts a Beyblade tournament where the winner gets to challenge him. A mysterious blader named Mr. X shows up and defeats everyone with ease. In the final match, Mr. X completely destroys Tyson's Beyblade, leaving him shocked. Soon after, Tyson learns that Max and Ray also met strange bladers on the same day, and they too lost with little effort. Even Tyson's classmate Hillary gets pulled into the drama when she becomes curious about Beyblading. Kenny, aka the Chief, studies Mr. X's Beyblade and discovers it holds an invisible bit beast that does not show up on scans. Tyson wants to regain his honor, so he fights Mr. X again. This time, Mr. X reveals his real name, Ozuma, and defeats Tyson once more. Tyson becomes frustrated because he cannot call out Dragoon properly during the battle. Meanwhile, two men in black suits watch from a distance, using high-tech gear that breaks down from Ozuma's powerful energy. These men soon target Hillary and Kenny, trying to kidnap them to get Kenny's laptop, which holds Dragoon's data. Tyson finds their hideout on a secret ship and battles a strong robot blader. He manages to free Dragoon from a special trap, saving Hillary and Kenny. But this experience shows Tyson that there are many dangerous enemies waiting in the shadows. The group behind this threat calls itself Team Psychic, led by a purple-haired man named Gideon and helped by a twisted scientist called Dr. B. They want to capture bit beasts like Dragoon, Drigger, Dronzer, and Drasil for their research. However, Ozuma and his group, the Saint Shields, also seem determined to either control or stop these four bit beasts. Tyson soon hears rumors about Kai. At his fancy prep school, Kai is being challenged by a mysterious blader who wants to bring him out of retirement. One huge fan named Wyatt even steals Kai's bit beast Dronzer for a match. Kai takes back Dronzer and finds new determination. Worried that Team Psychic might try to capture Kai, Tyson and Kenny hurry to warn him, but Kai shows he can handle himself. Some shady figure shows up with gadgets, like Magtrum, which creates a magnetic field to boost their Beyblades unfairly. Even so, Tyson and Kai fight together and defeat a Magtrum user named Snaky. Gideon makes things worse by luring the Blade Breakers to a remote island. Tyson, Hillary, Ray, Max, Kai, and Kenny arrive, thinking they will take part in an official event. Instead, they fall into another trap aimed at capturing their Bitbeasts. Each Blade Breaker faces a special opponent. Ray fights in near darkness, Kai on a narrow bridge, Tyson on a slippery ground with a hurt ankle, and Max against a chameleon-like Beyblade. Dr. B tries to seize their Bitbeast during these matches, but thanks to teamwork, the Blade Breakers escape. Mr. Dickinson, chairman of the BBA, and Tyson's grandpa come by helicopter to rescue them just as the base on the island collapses. Gideon and Dr. B escape, angry at their failure. Wanting a new plan, Gideon tells Dr. B to create Cyber Bitbeasts, copies of the Blade Breakers Bitbeasts made from data on Dragoon, Drigger, Dronzer, and Drasil. Team Psychic recruits several young Bladers who either crave power or are misled. One lucky Blader is Wyatt, who ends up bonding with Cyber Dronzer and loses his sanity. Meanwhile, Kane, Salima, Goki, and Jim each receive their own cyber versions of the Sacred Bitbeasts. But when they learn that Cyber Bitbeasts can corrupt a Blader's mind, they begin to question whether it's worth the risk. Eventually, the Blade Breakers are forced to face these new enemies in Battle Tower, Gideon's giant fortress full of illusions and traps. Each Blade Breaker has to climb a different floor, winning a Bay battle to move on. They fight enhanced forms of Cyber Drasil, Cyber Drigger, Cyber Dronzer, and the most dangerous of all, Cyber Dragoon, used by Kane. The Blade Breakers fight with courage and trust in the real Bitbeasts, knocking down Team Psychic once again. Cyber Dragoon gets out of control, nearly bringing down the tower, but Tyson unleashes Dragoon's true power, destroys the cyber copy, and frees Kane. When the building starts to crumble, Gideon and Dr. B are killed, or vanish in the censored version. This signals the end of Team Psychic. Still, the Saint Shields watch from the sidelines, planning to seal away Dragoon, Drigger, Dronzer, and Drasil. After a few more battles, where Ray briefly loses Drigger, they realize the Blade Breakers are worthy keepers of these Bitbeasts. Ozuma warns that if a Blade Breaker fails at their duty, the Saint Shields will return. Just when it seems like they can finally relax, a strange rock is found in New York City that may hold ancient Bitbeasts. Judy, Max's mom, starts studying it for the BBA, but Zagart, an old colleague of Mr. Dickinson, reappears and wants to use the rock's power for an unknown purpose. He hires Dr. K to keep extracting powerful rock Bitbeasts from it, and soon Rogue Bladers appear with these strange new creatures, challenging the Blade Breakers. They even steal valuable data, putting the group at risk. In the meantime, Tyson meets a friendly Blader named Zio, who admires him. Zio seems good at first, but after learning his father's secrets, he cuts ties with Tyson. It turns out, Zagart is Zio's dad, and Zio was built different, literally. But we'll get to that later. Zagart then orders Zio to collect the 4 sacred Bitbeasts, hoping to fulfill a dream that might make Zio truly human. Because this man is literally a cyborg that was built because the real Zio died, and Zagart has issues. Everything comes together at the next World Beyblade Championship. Mr. Dickinson sets up the event, and the Blade Breakers form 2 pairs, Tyson with Max and Kai with Ray. Other powerful teams also join, including a changed Kane and Jim, the Saint Shields, and a bold pair known as King and Queen, who are known for stealing top Beyblade parts. Tensions skyrocket when King and Queen sabotage other Bladers or wreck their Beyblades. At one point, they even team up with Dr. K, who tries to use a beam weapon in the stadium, but King and Queen refuse to cheat and leave her. Zagart then forces Mr. Dickinson to allow Zio and his partner Gordo into the tournament, saying no one can keep them out. The brackets lead to major battles. Ozuma and Dunga face Zio and Gordo. King and Queen fight Miriam and Joseph. Ray and Kai face the other challengers, and Tyson and Max are set to battle Kane and Jim. However, King and Queen ambush Kane and Jim outside the stadium, destroying their Beyblades. That forces them to drop out. Kai and Ray then advance, but they meet Zio's fierce power in the semifinals. Gordo wins his match and Zio overcomes Ozuma, stealing his Flash Leopard. Then Kai battles Zio, only for Zio's Bitbeast Cerberus, taken from the rock to devour Dronzer. Kai feels terrible for losing his Bitbeast yet again. Over in the other bracket, Tyson and Max take on King and Queen. They expose Dr. K's cheating from above the arena. King and Queen decide to fight fair. Tyson and Max obviously win, moving on to face Zio and Gordo in the finals. Gordo then challenges Max first, and Orthrus almost smashes Drasil, but Max's willpower helps him keep fighting. Gordo loses, and Max vows to rescue Dronzer next. Zio then steps into the stadium and uses Cerberus, boosted by Dronzer's stolen energy, to beat Max and remove Drasil from his blade. Now it's all up to Tyson. In their final match, Zeo confesses that he's an android created by Zygarde after Zygarde lost his real son. Zygarde hoped that by gaining these 4-bit beasts, Zeo could become human. Zeo then fights wildly as his robot body starts to fail, pushing Cerberus to combine the powers of Dronzer and Drasil. Tyson struggles to land a single solid hit, but he refuses to quit. He and Dragoon blast through Cerberus copies, shattering its illusions. Dronzer and Drasil are released, and Tyson wins. Zeo then collapses, upset that he will never be human. Tyson and his friends comfort him, saying it's a person's spirit and feelings that matter, not whether they have a human body or not. And Kai reclaims Dronzer, Max gets Drasil back, and Ray rejoins them with Drigger. Tyson becomes the world champion again, but the real victory is the friendship that ties them all together. Afterward, Zygarde leaves, realizing his plan failed. Zeo must find his own path, aware that he's an android with human emotions. The Saint Shields, pleased that the Blade Breakers can defend their own bit beasts, depart for good, and King and Queen promise to stop stealing parts and grow through honest play, while Kane, Jim, Goki, and Selima travel the world to teach new bladers. At last, Tyson and his teammates gather to celebrate another championship, certain that Beyblading is more than a game. It builds friendship, tests courage, and unites the hearts of bladers everywhere. And that concludes Beyblade V-Force, Beyblade G Revolution. Beyblade G Revolution was the third series in the original Beyblade franchise. The G in the name stands for good. Beyblade G Revolution first aired on TV Tokyo on January 6, 2003, 1 week after the conclusion of the second series, Beyblade V-Force. This show eventually ran until December 29, 2003. This season introduces the engine gear tops, with the debut of the hard metal system tops in the Bega arc. Also in this season, instead of the bit beasts coming out of the Beyblade in a flash of light, they are always seen in special attacks used by the tops. G Revolution took a different direction to V-Force, and returned to focusing on Beyblade tournaments. The change of direction was owed to the director of Season 1 returning to direct G Revolution. It also had more manga tie-in content, such as the introduction of Hero Granger and Daichi Sumeragi, and more closely followed the manga itself, including adding content later on such as the Bega series, where it had yet to appear in the manga itself. It is the longest season in the original Beyblade trilogy and ran for a total of 52 episodes. So, let's get into the story. Tyson Granger has just won the Beyblade World Championship for the second time, and is showing off his new Beyblade Dragoon Galaxy, which has an engine gear for extra power. As he teaches some neighborhood kids how to battle, his friends Hillary, Kenny, and a quiet Kai watch from nearby. Ray also stops by. Suddenly, a loud boy named Daichi appears and demands a match with Tyson. Daichi's Beyblade, Gaia Dragoon, can copy Dragoon Galaxy's moves, stealing its energy. Tyson still wins with his Galaxy Storm attack, but Daichi refuses to admit defeat since his Beyblade never stops spinning. Right then, a mysterious figure called Jin of the Gale challenges Tyson, then leaves. Meanwhile, Max Tate sees on the news that Mr. Dickinson, the BBA chairman, has planned a big press conference about Beyblading. Soon after, Jin and Daichi both show up wanting to battle Tyson. Jin's Death Trigger teams with Daichi's Gaia Dragoon, creating a 2-on-1 fight. Ray steps in to help Tyson. In the middle of the chaos, Max arrives and ends the battle, announcing a new Beyblade World Championship. This tournament will use tag teams to decide the outcome. Tyson is excited, but Daichi still wants his rematch. That evening, Tyson's grandfather invites Daichi to stay with them, so now Tyson has to put up with Daichi all the time. Elsewhere, Max receives a letter from his mother asking him to leave Tyson's group and join the All-Stars. Ray also decides he should return to the White Tigers, and Tyson is shocked by both choices, but wants to be supportive. He is sad that his old teammates will soon compete against him.
What the hell?
Daichi keeps bothering Tyson for more battles, and Tyson realizes this is just part of being a two-time champ. At one point, Daichi shows strong skills at a pool, making Tyson think about how many new challengers he must face. Watching all of this is Jin, who believes Tyson needs a test. He sends Tyson a note inviting him to a private battle, but Daichi almost grabs the note and it flies away. Ray finds it and goes instead, hoping to help Tyson. On a stormy night, Ray battles Jin. Death Trigger uses water reflections to confuse Ray, and Jin scolds Ray for being good at many things but not pushing himself far enough. Ray surprises Jin with a clever comeback, though a lightning strike ends the battle. Ray still loses, but Jin is impressed by his fighting spirit. Meanwhile, Max goes to America and meets Rick Anderson, a rough new All-Stars member who dislikes Max right away. Rick's tough attitude worries Max, hinting at problems in his new team. Later, Jin speaks with Kai on a rooftop about Ray and Max leaving the team, but Kai says only he can decide his path. Soon afterward, Tyson and Daichi rush to sign up for the World Championship, barely making it before registration closes. Tyson learns that Jin is actually his older brother, Hero Granger, who has come back to be the new coach of the BBA Revolution. The group includes Tyson, Kai, Daichi, and Kenny. Ray and Max both qualify quickly for their hometown teams. Kai, who joined at the last second, stays on Tyson's side but seems distant. At the All-Stars camp, Rick's direct style upsets veterans like Michael and Emily. Ray then rejoins the White Tiger X led by Lee. Meanwhile, the Neo-Borg, aka the Blitzkrieg Boys, Tala, Brian, and Spencer have returned, hoping to bring victory back to their homeland. Tyson's BBA Revolution finally makes it through the preliminaries, even though Kai's loyalty is unclear and Daichi's wild energy causes a lot of trouble. Ray and Max have become stronger rivals on their teams as well. When BBA Revolution goes to New York for the first part of the round robin, Daichi clashes with Tyson's ego. A pickpocket steals their Beyblades and they have to chase him all over the city. He is caught battling Rick in an alley. After a tense moment, Rick gives back Dragoon and Gaia Dragoon. Next, the tournament moves to Italy, where Barthez Battalion is revealed.
No! No!
Their coach, Barthez, forces them to cheat by using hidden blades or flashing lights in battles, injuring Ray's teammates. Barthez players, Miguel, Matilda, Claude, and Aaron feel guilty, but keep obeying their coach. Tyson and Daichi try practicing 2-on-2 matches, but in a fight against Ray and Lee, Tyson's pride and Daichi's reckless moves cause a big loss. Tyson blames Daichi and storms off, forgetting how important teamwork is. Hero then steps in, battling Tyson and beating him easily, shattering Tyson's assumptions that he is unbeatable. The competition continues in Spain and Egypt. Barthez Battalion damages other bladers' parts. Matilda and Miguel struggle with this cheating, but Barthez pressures them. White Tiger X slows down when Ray nearly loses an important match, but they refuse to give up. For the All-Stars, Rick and Max clash about mixing offense and defense to learn to respect each other in time. BBA Revolution eventually goes to a remote camp to train, but Kai disappears, calling them weak. Tyson almost quits, but Hero talks him and Daichi into a survival exercise that shows them how to depend on each other. Their partnership grows stronger. Meanwhile, Kai stands on a high building overlooking the city and later joins the Neo-Borg, which shocks Tyson. Later in Australia, during the final stage of the round robin, Daichi takes the spotlight by beating Rick, while Tyson faces Max in a dramatic match at Ayers Rock. Max loses but forces Tyson to fight at full strength, almost destroying Dragoon. This secures the final showdown, BBA Revolution against the Blitzkrieg Boys.
Awesome!
Tyson battles Kai in a fierce confrontation against the Neo-Borg for the trophy. Tyson battles Kai in a fierce confrontation that almost destroys the stadium roof. He narrowly wins his third championship, but Kai shows incredible skill. Soon after, the Beyblade world is shaken when Boris, a shady figure from the Blitzkrieg Boys past, takes over the BBA. He renames it Bega, the Beyblade Entertainment Global Association, and puts up a huge skyscraper. He claims to bring Beyblading to everyone, but many remember that he once ran cruel training programs. Worse, Kai and Hero appear to work with him. Hero says he has his reasons, but Tyson gets angry. Under Bega's control, stores only sell parts to Bega members, so Tyson and his friends can't buy anything. The BBA is closed and Mr. Dickinson steps down as chairman. Left on their own, Tyson's group lacks resources. Daichi grows jealous of Tyson's fame, while Max and Ray remain by Tyson's side. Kenny teams up with old rivals like Emily, Michael, and Miguel to create hard metal system Beyblades. And these are smaller, heavier, but much stronger, but also a lot harder to control. Tyson, Ray, Max, and Daichi struggle chasing their runaway Beyblades as they remember the basics of Beyblading, slowly getting better. Meanwhile, Bega's top bladers, Ming Ming, Crusher, Mistel, Garland, and Brooklyn train hard. Brooklyn has never lost and hates being challenged. Boris sets up the Justice 5, a final showdown between Bega and Tyson's newly named G Revolutions. If Bega wins, they stay in power. But if the G Revolutions win, Boris must dissolve Bega. Despite sponsor dropouts, the G Revolutions manage to gather 5 members, including Kai, who rejoins them at the last minute to redeem himself. And with this, the battles begin. Daichi fights Ming Ming first and loses to her, so Bega leads 1-0. Next, Ray faces Crusher in a city-themed stadium. Crusher fights for his 6th sister, using that motivation to defeat Ray in a close match, making it 2-0. Then Max ties with Mestel after both Beyblades break apart at the same time, so the score remains 2-0. With the G Revolution still alive, Kai battles Brooklyn next. Brooklyn shows terrifying powers, summoning illusions and black holes, and Kai is nearly crushed, but each time he rises again, driving Brooklyn crazy until Kai finally wins, shocking everyone. The score is now 2-1. Tyson then fights Garland next, who wants to protect his famous family's honor. Garland quotes rules from a family code, but Tyson tells him to fight with his heart. After a fierce showdown, Tyson wins, tying the score at 2-1. A final match is then ordered, and Boris picks Brooklyn again, who is mad about his first loss. He warps the city into a dark dimension, destroying buildings and creating a raging vortex. Tyson fights him in mid-air, barely keeping up. Even the military can't stop Brooklyn's rising power. Tyson almost gives up, but Kai, Ray, Max, Daichi, and Tala, just out of the hospital, join their Bit Beast to help Dragoon power up one last time. Their combined strength breaks Brooklyn's illusion, and Brooklyn finally sees that losing can bring friendship, and he stops his rampage. Boris's dream fails, and Hero admits he only worked with Bega to help Tyson and his friends grow stronger. Tyson and Brooklyn's blades keep spinning, but it's clear that Tyson has effectively beaten him. With Bega disbanded, Mr. Dickinson restarts the BBA in a small new building. Teams around the world return to normal, White Tiger goes back to training, the All-Stars reunite in America, and Bartez's battalion tries honest battling without their old coach. F Dynasty then goes back to its circus roots, and the Blitzkrieg boys are welcomed as heroes in Russia. Kai and Tyson watch the city rebuild and decide to have one more match, just for the fun of Beyblading. And that concludes Beyblade G Revolution. Honestly, this was probably my favorite of the 3 original Beyblade series. I thought the character designs were phenomenal, and I absolutely loved the concept of the G Revolutions and also having the Blade Breakers disband and join a bunch of other teams and then come back together at the end. It was hella sick. And to me, this was the peak of Beyblade. I know we've gotten a whole bunch of other stories, from the Metal series to Burst to X and all of the sub-series in between, but I don't think any of them really recaptured the magic of the original Beyblade crew to me. Thanks for watching, like this video, share it with your friends, and press the hell out of that bell button. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And until next time, peace.